feed me with food convenient for me.
Hey, but if you listen to the scripture, if you seek the riches, you're going to get destroyed. I think there was the one before that one.
What did you want to say?
Labor not to be rich.
What did you want to say?
Proverbs 20.
What did you want to say? You want to say
Proverbs 23. Proverbs 23 verse 4. Labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom.
Labor not to be rich and cease from thy own wisdom, because he was talking about that you're going to get destroyed. You're going to destroy yourself. Say what you want to say, Wally.
You're thinking about building a community, right? And that we need to get together, build businesses, make our own money, right? But the times that we're in, do you know that the fact that America right now is putting sanctions towards Canada, Mexico, Europe? At the time that we're in, that there's going to be an inflation, there's going to be a lack of food.
You're talking about their system.
You in the system,
Europe, man.
What are you
You're
talking
part of
about?
man. No, you can build. You guys don't understand what I'm talking about. You can build your own system.
When your food, when the supermarkets are not getting filled, right? But you just bought food, right?
Because
your car doesn't drive. There's stops all across the street, you know, with how do you say that? With assault rifles and checkpoints.
Destroy you, something like
Then you're gonna seek the Heavenly Father, man, because He's gonna save us out of those situations, man. You understand? You understand? But you're talking about money, but we're not talking about that. Money is not gonna, is not even a, that's a, look man, money is not gonna save you in those days. Famine, look, there's gonna be, who is gonna give you food when there's no food anywhere?
Exactly.
Only the Heavenly Father, man. But that's what you don't understand right now, you know?
En nu wil ik iets heel grappigs. I know what I want to already. I'm going to show you guys something.
Wait. This is Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. Arise ye and depart.
Arise ye and depart. We're in captivity. We're slave in servitude. You're trying to build upon in a land where you were a slave. You can't do that. We need to go back to our own land. Where do you think your land is? What? Is Curacao your land, your own land?
No.
Where?
I don't know.
Egypt. Okay, then check this out. Even if you go to Egypt,
No.
I'm gonna get to a point. Even if you go to Egypt right now, do you think they're just gonna give you citizenship? And even if you did, do you think they're gonna give all of us citizenship if we go there right now? So it's not your land. The thing is, our land is not even Egypt because we were servants in Egypt as the 12 tribes of Israel, which you are one of also. And we are going to go back to the land that is of our forefathers, which is the land that they call Israel right now, which is our land. The Arabs and the cave people, they're fighting over our land.
That's right.
They have been doing it for decades because they're the devil.
That's right. Got a quick precept. Arise ye, this is Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
This is not our rest. We're not here to actually be children. We're here to serve our sentence. And our sentence is slavery. That's the sentence that we have been sentenced. Look, the slavery was a punishment.
That's right. Now I understand.
The slavery was a punishment. When the time,
hey, now you're again making a lot of things clear for me. You know what?
Listen, but let me tell you. Right. The slavery was a punishment. We're not supposed to be on this side of the world. Our ancestors came here as slaves, and we were sent here because if we didn't come here as slaves, we wouldn't be here. So we went to South America, which you and I come from, and you have brothers in North America. Look, and what are they trying to do right now in America? They're trying to build communities, they're trying to get rich, they're trying to establish a life. Your life is not supposed to be there. It's like being a fish, right? And then being taken from the sea and then raised in an aquarium and then getting children in the aquarium. You don't know how beautiful your original place is.
But how are you
that's
going?
us.
But
I'ma
how are you
get
going to
that.
get
I'ma
there?
get
If
to
you
that.
want, if you are here now in
I'ma
Amsterdam,
get to that.
how are you going to get in Israel?
I'll get to that.
All right. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction.
It's going to destroy us because if we really desire this money system thing, it's going to destroy you, right? Because we're not brought into slavery for our prosperity in the midst of our enemies. We're brought into slavery because of hatred. We're here because we were hated. We're not here because they love us so much. Now they might love you because you have all these fancy moves, you got all this dopeness, you got all these talents and stuff like that. You work very good, you have insight on how to do things. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to serve our sentence, and after that, we're going to go back. And you say, how are we going to go back?
Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 37.
Go to 16 right now first, and then get that one. Jeremiah 6, and then after that, get that one. Jeremiah 16, verse says, but Jeremiah 16, where it says that the Most High is, we're not going to talk about that in Egypt right here. 16 and 5.
16 and 5? 14. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, said Yahawah, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Yeah, everybody is still talking about that, the Exodus from Egypt.
But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither I have driven them.
The way that we're going to go back to our land is through spaceships. We're definitely not going to believe in that. That's the chariots of the Heavenly Father. Have you ever heard of people talking about spaceships, aliens and shit like that, or stuff like that? Those are actually angels. That alien bullshit, that's crap. Those are angels. You remember the song, Sweet Child, coming toward the carrier? You remember that song? Sweet Chariot, coming toward the carrier. You don't know that song?
I don't think so. I don't know.
The slaves were
It's
singing.
an old slave song, but the song that they were singing was a song talking about the spaceships, the angels coming home coming back to carry them home. But the thing
To the
is,
River Jordan.
that's a method. But coming back to carry them home because of the spaceship, that's the way that we're going to go back to our land. Believe it or not, but we're going back. We came here in slave ships. We're going back in spaceships. So go back to the.
And that rhymes also.
Yeah, go to the Jeremiah that you had.
Jeremiah.
You believe what you gotta believe. It's Jeremiah 32 and 37.
That's what I was going to read.
Yeah?
Yeah, but
It's
go
Jeremiah 32, verse
So was it
37.
Jeremiah 32 and 37? Okay, I'm
Behold,
reading.
Go get erop gooien. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whither I have driven them in mine anger, and in my fury, and in great wrath, and I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely.
That's what we wait for. Because we don't have the capability or the physical money and the physical strength or whatever you want to call it, the so-called prosperity, to bring each and every single individual slave descendant and Native American, also slave descendants of them too, back to the land where we come from. We don't have that money. And these devils are damn sure not going to pay us all and say like, you know what? Because we sold it, we're going to gather you all, and we're going to pay for your trip back to your own land. They're not going to do that, but we are going to take them. But the Heavenly Father is going to take us, and then we're going to take them in slavery with us.
I have a song from Sweet Love. No? Yeah, this is No, it was BB King Kill. Why are you hating on them? BB King. Calling them Edomite.
You can put it just a second, because I know it.
Hey, put the one of Sam.
Sam Cook?
Will you understand the point now?
No, put Sam Cook.
Sam Cook?
He's not going to believe you. Put Sam Cook.
I understand the point, but I don't believe him.
Put Sam Cook.
Not too much.
Maybe the Most High will give you a dream, man. You never know.
Sam Cook had the most. Look, this is the song I was showing.
Okay, read.
You know that?
That song. They were singing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. A chariot is a voertuig. A chariot in the air didn't exist. Want we hadden geen vliegtuigen, we didn't have no planes, and we didn't have no helicopters. So what were the slaves singing? Singing and singing. They saw spaceships. And they know it's the angels. Because this is the lyrics. Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Coming forth to carry me home. Across the river Jordan, I see a band of angels coming forth to carry me home. They was talking about those are the angels, and they wanted to be brought back to the land, to the river across Jordan. There's only one Jordan upon the planet Earth, and that is in Israel. So they knew that they came from Jerusalem, right? And you wanted to say something.
Yeah, but you know, to finish the topic, I was going to say is that basically that this trade war, which is bringing that World War III, is happening right now. So that community that you're trying to build is not going to happen. The scriptures also talk about it here.
It's already happening. I'm already doing it.
So what do you mean? Doing what? Building
Doing the community what yeah.
Okay, but all that's going to come to naught, man.
Alright, but in the meanwhile I can do my things if I want to. I'm not so much dependent on them like other guys.
But the point is, our people need to understand that we need to come back to the Heavenly Father before it happens. Not be worried about the things that are in this world, the cares of this world.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that.
That's why we're out here.
Yeah, but you're saying our people need to understand that don't worry about the things about this world, but in the meanwhile the reality is
you still got to get that money.
You still need to
We're
go.
not saying nothing against that.
We understand that.
That's what
But don't put your faith in that.
No, I'm not doing it because
But look, we've been telling you already from the beginning, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is repenting and coming back to the Heavenly Father, you know, in sincerity, all right? And repent from all those wicked things that are upon us now.
You know,
We want to be slave masters soon. You understand?
you know most people.
That's what we want.
You know most people. They don't like. I know a lot of people. They don't even have the time to like. Let's say you guys were in a building and you give lectures every day or every week. You listen to me or not?
Yeah.
Let's say you guys are in a building every week. Yeah. Most people they don't even like you're saying. Most people they don't even have the time to come to you guys, to listen to you guys, because the reality of the world today is they need to go get to the job or get their bills paid and you know these things. That's the reality and that's what I'm talking about.
Look, through the unicorn, which is the internet, there's no excuses anymore because you can look on the internet, we're all over the place.
No, listen.
I'm talking about, listen, I'm talking about the
The
internet.
time that they are on their work, they cannot look at
Look,
something
man,
else.
you're not listening.
I'm listening.
Listen, hold on, I want to say something. Sure. You're talking about something and you're not even listening to what I'm saying. I'm talking about the internet.
Yeah.
Okay? People have time to look on TV, to look at a bunch of bullshit programs. A lot of people on the internet, on YouTube, they see us. So what you're talking about has nothing to do. You know, we come out here, all this is being filmed, and it's going to be pushed through the internet. So what you're saying is people at work, right, working right now, have no time to come here. They have time to look on the internet.
Yeah, but
So there's no excuses.
No, it's no excuse. But because of the human nature, they need to. They are gonna get up, go to their work for the slave masters, and come back home and too tired to look at the internet. That's what I'm talking about. We all work. Okay. Even there's time.
Listen,
Wait.
you said, wait, after this one. John 10 and 26. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep, as I said unto you. But I'm not saying you're not one of the sheep. We don't know. You know. Verse 27.
I think I'm not. I'm telling you myself.
Watch out with what you're saying.
If you're saying. But we
Maybe I'm
already
not. I'm telling you.
know the spirit. We already know the spirit. Like certain people, Look, we're just me personally. I'm just talking to you like for edification for the other brothers on the side. You don't have to read that. Can you just finish what you were saying?
Yeah, man, because you're telling people like we need to come together and build, but what makes you think, don't you think the brothers here have businesses? That's the first mistake you made. You are...
I didn't tell you
first,
don't...
Yeah, but that's the way you speak to us.
No.
But that is not important.
You
and
feel,
the other thing,
and
the other thing, may I speak now? You spoke the whole freaking day, man.
Okay.
Let me just bring something out. Okay. And you have the guy that made the super soap, and also he made the battery that can go on for like forever. Yeah. What happened? The government said you will not bring this out, so it didn't happen. And that's what we're telling you, that we try to tell you. We are under captivity, and this is the place. This is just like you go to jail. Yeah, man, in the jail cell, we're going to build up this beautiful company. You are owned, man. You're there for your punishment, and that's the whole point. That's what we're trying to tell you, man.
I understand. I hear you and I understand you, but you don't understand something. The guy that built a battery or something, yeah. If the government
also dark skin man. Yeah.
If the government told him you cannot sell that,
yeah.
Do you really think that? Maybe in your mind, but
he got shut down by law, man.
Do you really think if he wants to sell it, that the government can prevent him from selling it?
Yes. That's what happened by law. You will die.
They kill you, they kill your daughter,
yeah, man.
You kill your wife, everything, man.
And they keep the technology. They wanted it from the army.
That's why you need to be smart.
They wanted it. They're using it for the army, not for the common man, because they will lose money, man. You're about business. They are about business. A car equals buying gasoline. Think about it, man. You're not as smart as you portray yourself, man. No, because when you give someone a battery for a car that goes on forever, you don't have to pay gas. Why the fuck do you think Americans go to Afghanistan and to these other countries? It's for oil, man. Wake the fuck up.
But listen, check this out. You're still thinking about, if I want to sell you something, the government don't know. If I want to sell you something, the government don't know. Yeah? If I want to sell you something, can I do it?
Listen, I'm gonna give you.
I have this bike, yeah? I want to sell it, the government don't need to know. Can I do it?
This is big business, man. You're building, you want to build up big businesses.
But you need to be smart. That's what I'm talking about.
You're not thinking in the big scheme.
I think that's what I do. That's what I do. You guys don't listen. That's what I do already.
Listen.
That's what I do already.
I got something for you because I'm trying to show you what we're doing right here. So we're building another place. We're building another house. Look.
This is Amos chapter 9 verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. And that's what the Heavenly Father is raising up right now. Now understand about what you're trying to do with you're trying to better yourself you're trying to better our people for themselves. I know what you're trying to I understand what you're trying to do. But the point is you don't understand. Well, I'll explain to you. What we're trying is well, we can't fulfill scriptures. We just hoping that this is our faith. We're putting our faith in this. Okay? Have the hope in this. So really.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
Yeah.
And close up the breaches thereof.
And close up the breaches thereof. So what we are waiting for is to be built up by the Heavenly Father, and then all these other nations, especially the elites, when they see us, they will be in terrible fear. They will start putting copyright upon YouTube videos. They will start cutting videos off that is talking about against fluoride water, against GMO food. These are videos where people are not even saying the word shit. They're not even saying doo-doo. They're not even saying feces. They're just saying plain, regular words that so-called little children can listen to. And they're still shutting the video down, and they're flagging them, talking about, yeah, you're spreading in misleading information, harmful information. What is misleading about me telling you don't buy fluoridated toothpaste no more? What is misleading about that? Why? Because according to them, fluoride is good for your teeth and your bones. But according to their own research, their own scientific research, fluoride destroys you. Plus, they used the fluoride in the atom bombs, which were nuclear bombs. In the atom bombs of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they used fluoride within that. And if you go on Google right now, there was a fluoride spill, right? There was a bus with fluoride in it, pure fluoride, and it was eaten through the concrete. So, and they even tell you on the toothpaste that if you swallow
it,
if you swallow the fluoride, contact your local doctor right now. But guess what? If you cannot swallow a little pea size of fluoride, and they put fluoride in the water, and they tell you like you need to drink 3 liters of water every day, they're messing with you. Here it is, the toothpaste, you can't eat it. I mean, you can't swallow it. But then again, they tell you to drink 3 liters of fluoridated water every day. You see how the devil works? He puts doubt in your head.
I don't say these things. I don't true. These things I believe.
Check this out. He puts doubt in your head, and doubt is one of the ways that basically you could get destroyed by the Heavenly Father. Because if you doubt if it's real or not, that's your destruction.
Yeah. And sometimes.
But wait, let me finish the point. Finish that.
And that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. This is Amos chapter 9 verse 11. And that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
So this is where we are building up. We're building up towards fulfilling basically this scripture, but only if we are fitted to fulfill this scripture, then we're going to be in it, but then we're going to be chosen. But if we're not, that's up to the Most High. But our point is, we are building towards the spiritual, or we're spiritually building a house right now. And that house is going to manifest itself in the physical form. But first what we got to do, we got to spread the word. We got to spread the word out and tell the people before it happens. Because when it happens, they're going to be like looking at us and be like, y'all already said this. So then they're going to know who's going to be the prophets. Now give me Acts 15 and 16.
This is Acts 15 and 16. After this, I will return, and I will build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down.
This is what the Heavenly Father is doing. He's building the tabernacle of David. Tabernacle is a dwelling place, right? So we're in the kind of tabernacle, it's a dwelling place. We're kind of in a kind of small tabernacle right now, where our people dwell, right? Our people, meaning Hebrew Israelites, which you are one of us, you are one of the 12 tribes. Now, if you don't get it on this side, it's up to the Most High, but we damn sure know we're going to get it on the other side, because then all of our people will be in one consent, in one mind, in one accordance, in one agreement, right? So,
and I will build again the ruins thereof, and I will set it up. This is Acts 15 and 16. After this, I will return and will build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down, and I will build again the ruins thereof, and will set it up.
And we'll set it up. We are trying to be, the Heavenly Father is building up the ruins of the old kingdom. Do you know what that means? King David, I'm going to tell you what it means. King David, his tabernacle has fallen. He had 37 mighty men, right? And those mighty men could beat up a couple of hundred of thousand people, and it was only 37 men, right? But now, back in the days, the Heavenly Father had 2 of us, 100 of us, and we could put 10,000 of light, and 2 of us later on, 1 would put 1,000 of light, and 2 would put 10,000 of light, right? So we praying, 2 of us would put 10,000 of them to flight. Meaning, if 2 of us here was to fight against them, 10,000 people would run from us. 2 of us against 10,000 of them. That's the power that we're trying to get back right now. Okay? And we're going to get it. All we have to do is have faith in the Heavenly Father, right? And patience. That's above all. Faith first and foremost, and then above all is faith, and then second is patience. But yo, read what you have. 16. You read what I asked you.
This is Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 7. And I will cause the captivity of Judah and the captivity of Israel to return, and I will build them as the first.
As in the days of old. That's where we're going to get. That means that King David, right, which is a dark-skinned man, He had everybody on the planet Earth in submission. He let them pay tribute, meaning just like how they tax us now, we usually tax them. That's why they hate us so much. That's why they're jealous of us. Why? Because the Bible is written of our great people, of our kings, right? And the princes and the prophets and the priests, right? Because we didn't have no freaking whatever nonsense going on. But after that, we did fall. That's when the nonsense was, started to come up in. And then we fell. But the Lord said He will build it as in the days of old. Read that part again.
Jeremiah chapter 33 verse 7. And I will cause the captivity of Judah and the captivity of Israel
We're not going to be slaves no more.
to return,
Right?
and will build them as at the first.
As at the first. How was we in the beginning? In the beginning, one of us could kill 1,000 of them. That's in the days of Joshua. And then in the days of Leviticus, it was like, I think it was 5 of us would put 100 of us would put 10,000 to fight. Right? But then you had another one where 2 of us could kill 10,000 of them. So that's the type of power that we're looking for to get back. And you might not believe it or not, but yeah, I can't say you in, if you was in Suriname, then I could give you examples of people with power, but you're not going to believe that anyway, because you done with that? Okay, now give me Zechariah 9 and 2. Oh, you got it?
I have it.
Give me.
Zechariah chapter 9 and 30. 13, right? Zechariah chapter 9 verse 13. When I have bent Judah before me,
Right?
filled the bow with Ephraim.
That's when our people are going to come together. Because you're talking about we're not together right now. You're right. But guess what? A lot of our women are actually covering their head right now. It's like something is telling them to do. And I don't know if they know, but they're doing it. I'm looking around, and I see a lot of the women of our people, they're covering their heads right now. I'm not going to say anything because I'm looking at you. Got to analyze stuff. Sometimes it's very smart to shut your mouth and look. Now, when I'm cussing out our people, especially the women of our nation, I'm not targeting them. I know that they're trying, just like how I'm trying not to be evil motherfucker. So go on.
When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion,
We are the sons of Zion. Okay?
against thy sons, O
The
Greece.
sons of Greece, that's talking about Japheth, but the modern day Grecians, the people that call themselves Greeks, or these so-called these Caucasian people, these Edomites, they call themselves, they took the title of Greek. Okay, you're a Greek then. Okay, cool. So read that part again. The sons of
And raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece.
So there's gonna come a fight. The sons of, read the whole thing.
When I have bent Judah,
See, we're preparing for a fight. We're preparing to battle them with the pen. We're prepared to battle them with the we're battling them with the pen right now. But they say the pen is mightier than the sword, right? Well, why don't they go to Libya and talk to the guy? No, they brought the sword. They bombed the shit out of them, and then they murdered them, and then they're talking about, now we're gonna write laws about how not to fucking fuck with us when we tell you to give your shit up. And if you do it, we bomb the shit out you. And after that, we set up fake puppet leaders, and then we give them the pen. And if you want to fight, and go to the American embassy in those countries, and then fight them. And if you dare do that, we'll bomb the shit out you again. So they come with bombs first, then they set a puppet leader, and then they give him the pen.
But I'm preparing to battle them in both ways. Huh?
No, we can't do that right now.
Why not?
Because we don't have bombs. We don't have nuclear bombs.
you
No
say-
slave-descendant country has a nuclear. We don't have a country. But no Native American country, like in Chile and stuff like that, none of them have a nuclear bomb. So we're not going to do that. They have the nuclear bombs. The Arabs, you got the cave people. The Africans don't even have a fucking nuclear bomb, but we're not African. But the Asians, you got the North Koreans, only they have those nuclear bombs. The Russians, our people don't have, no slave descendant has a nuclear bomb. We don't even have a land. We don't even have a country. We're living in countries which we were enslaved in. So even those countries are not our countries. And the Native Americans, if they had a nuclear bomb, they probably killed a lot of fucking crackers also. Why? Well, a lot of them were ass kissers. But the thing is, even the Arabs, they don't have a nuclear bomb. If they had a nuclear bomb, and a so-called radical Arab would get his hands on the nuclear bomb, he would strap himself on the bomb, shoot himself, go against all the elements, the winds, and then right before he hits America, he'd be like, oh, look what we would do. That's what he would do.
That same day.
That shows you that the Arabs don't even have a nuclear bomb, because they're the type of people that would just see 3 crackers. Only for 3 white people, he would blow himself up just to kill them. So they don't have a fucking nuclear bomb, because if they did, they would kill everybody on the planet Earth. But what we're doing right now is we're building a spiritual house. So who was reading? Hey, finish that what you was reading. Read it.
Zechariah chapter 9 verse 13. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece.
So there's going to come a war. The slave descendants and the Native Americans are going to fight against the so-called white people. Go on.
And made thee as the sword of a mighty man.
We're going to be as the sword of a mighty man. I can give a weak nerd a sword. He's not going to be as powerful with that same sword if I give that same exact sword to a mighty man. We're going to be the sword of that mighty man. We're not going to be a sword of a weak man. And that's how powerful we're going to get. Now give me the scripture where it talks about that we're going to be the angels. And you go on the house of God. We're going to be like
Zechariah chapter 12 verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them.
So read that last part again. This is what we're striving towards, right? We're not striving towards building up in the society. We're striving towards getting our new bodies. We're striving towards getting our own powers back, but then now even stronger and renewed. Because the Lord said, He will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.